Well, first of all, y'all know I want to thank you all for coming out and to Who Naked up in here. Good to see your faces tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's family is doing well. You all unmute yourselves and give some love to each other right quick. Just show some love. Just give each other a little bit of love and embrace so we can kind of warm the room up a little bit, you know? I need to hear some spirits.
Yes.
Need to know y'all alive out there.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, well, that's what's up. It's good to hear y'all. It's good to see y'all as well. For those who are new in the room, we have a little MO in there. For those who would like to share, there's a reaction button at the bottom of the screen. If you click on the reaction button, you can raise your hand, and all hands that are raised will be acknowledged within the space. And as of this, at this point, I'm going to allow for 2 pieces. So everybody will be able to share 2 poems as we move into the evening. The room starts to fill up and it gets a little thick. We'll scale back to 1 poem, but for right now, everybody is allowed to do 2. And if there's time at the end, then we'll do another round robin and let everybody get 1 more poem in. So hopefully
Mr.
that's good
Witz?
with you all. Yes.
Sorry, can we and put LD in the lineup? He had his hand raised initially, but you know he had to step away. So if you could just put him in
Definitely.
between Jockey and
I will definitely bring him into the space. I
thank
know
you.
I know he wants to share. And
Yeah.
we just look for him to come back into the room, actually. I would make him one of the first ones because I know this is his first time coming in here. And I want him
That's why I said
I want
yes,
him
sir.
to feel comfortable. So I got him. I know what's up. Thank you for that. All right. I appreciate you all raising your hands to share. Something's going on with the Zoom to where you begin to speak and it will lower your hand. So when we're giving praise and homage, keep that in mind that your hand may get lowered. So you may have to raise your hand again. But I'll do my best to keep on top of it and make sure everybody is acknowledged. All right. All that I ask is that you keep your mic silent while the poet is performing. And after the poem, you're welcome to unmute yourself and show some love to the poet as well as the poem. All right. The chat is wide open for you to conversate. You can love on each other in the chat. You can give love to the poem. You can give love to the poet. Whatever is in your heart, utilize the chat as much as possible. That's what it's there for. I'm going to open up the room, as always. Just my way of making everybody feel comfortable. We're not looking for perfection in here. There's no judgment in here. This is a loving space. So all we're doing is embracing each other and homaging one another. So with that being said, I'm going to open up the room for my first piece. It's from one of my books. Dedications and inspirations from Mr. Witz. And the piece is entitled A Bird Climbing the Sun. On stage, she reminds me of a bird climbing the sun. The flight of a bird is so beautiful to see. Its bent wings beating against the weightless air. Its graceful glide when they spread like fingers of the hand. Its head dive hunting that never crashes ground. No matter how fast or close. I'm hearing somebody in the back. Can we make sure everybody's muted?
I got it.
Thank you. Forgive me, it kind of threw off my concentration, so I'm going to begin again. On stage, she reminds me of a bird climbing the sun. The flight of a bird is so beautiful to see. Its bent wings beating against the weightless air. Its graceful glide when they spread like fingers of the hand. Its head dive hunting that never crashes ground, no matter how fast or close it approaches. The sky is but space till a bird flies in it. Up there she breathes, her heart beats, she lives. No one sees her broken feathers in a silhouette of her span. No one sees fear in the path of her flight. On stage can be a replica of all sky is when a bird of a poet frees from it. Amazing to see one up there, swimming the skies like swans do, claiming it like fields of cotton to frolic in. It's easy to see the envy in her escape, the beauty in such freedom. What a God-granted gift to be able to soar so high. No one looks for the struggle in the flap of her wings. No one wonders how many of the hunter's bullets she has dodged. No one questions where she finds shelter from the rain, too used to the sight of her flying away. Her just wanting to be in this world of predator and prey. Misunderstood as if her voice is unclear, she tangles the sky like a dance instructor. Up there she breathes, her heart beats, she lives. No one sees her broken feathers in the silhouette of her span. The scars from her takeoff and landing struggles. Sightseers see a scenery. Gunmen see game. The captive see sovereignty. All looking to free themselves, oblivious of her pain, her hurt, her cries misconstrued in their absence of her tear ducts. She flies through morning, and though many may not comprehend, up there she breathes, her heart beats, she lives. No one sees her broken feathers in the silhouette of her span. The bird's journey is a message, a kaleidoscope of dewdrops, a mirror inside another mirror, amazingly reflecting how her most beautiful, her most inner self, like the characteristics of one with an external heart, unveiling how beautiful imperfection can be. When I see her up there, she reminds me of a bird climbing the sun. That's that first piece. Y'all got any comments, any love you want to give to the piece? You can do that now.
That was really beautiful. What's
Yeah,
amazing piece.
Thank you.
Beautiful end.
Thank you, brother.
beautiful imagery.
Thank you. What's that, Shocky?
Yeah.
Thank you, Shocky. All right, this next piece I'm gonna do is also from my book of dedications and inspirations by Mr. Witz. This piece is entitled Life After Tupacalypse. You would think in the cold of their lifeless bodies, the war would be over. Iconic battles lost in the coercion of the car door bullet holes would be the end of it. The last shake awake. But dead stares prevailed. Not even their blood spill could be perceptive through the blinds. Just another house, another home, building demolished, a block party turnout for another death date, while we just hold on to in the memory of that buries us beneath the red clay dirt. So we keep trotting onward through the wreckage, the fragments, the demolition and reconstruction, part of a 20-year economic plan for redevelopment. Every city has one. Why should Rap City be any different? Be any more isolated from the image of what it means to be literally stolen ground? They've knocked down project-sized images to raise new age skyscrapers, leaving debris of weaker minds unfed and docile, all while slowly breathing life into the bones in their closets. And for the dead, like Malcolm and Martin, how they quieted. It was collar to leash, after pinning kings to seek demise of each other, fighting for a crown that should be passed from amongst the people. Same crown that they now pass on to their pawns in the praise of traps, most of whom uniqueness is mummified, snatched at the tongue, leaving the revolution lost in pronunciation, dying of infiltration. Just like all our past culture raids. Don't get blinded by what they call our rage, our voice, that underground roar, the scream against the machine advances. So when you hear their rebellion, their music, be humbled knowing that there was a time when hip hop resembled fighting to emerge within the stolen cities to reclaim our ground. In peace.
Woo, woo. You know, I heard a rumor about you today.
Rumors?
Huh?
I said rumors?
Yeah, something about you releasing 2 books today and becoming a 10-time published author.
Oh
Something about that.
yeah. Yeah, I should have announced that. CP Mays, good to see you in the building, brother. Yeah, fire, fire. And I see you in the house too, Brooklyn in the house. Good to see you, baby. Thank you for bringing that up, Shaki G. Yes, I just did. I just released my two latest projects, my 2 latest solo projects. So now I have 8 solo projects and 2 joint collabs that are out there, which makes me a 10-time published author. So yeah, I am excited. I'm actually on the wait, rubbing my palms together for them books to reach my doorstep, so I can actually hold them up and in my physically hold them in my hands in my embrace. You know what I mean? But I am excited about it. I actually went kind of quiet about it. I know I've been mentioning that I have these works coming out, but I just feel like when God put it in you to put it to do the work, just do the work. So anytime I finish a project, I'm releasing it. I know I just released 2 books maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and I'm releasing 2 more, So I'm just excited to be on this journey. Thank you, Shaki, for bringing that out.
Congratulations, Woods. That's awesome.
Thank you, Nemo. Thank you, brother. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming in the room again. Most of you are familiar with the space, so y'all know how we doing here. If you want to share, click that reaction button at the bottom of the screen and raise your hand. And as I come across, you'll be acknowledged. Now, I do know lately the Zoom space has been doing something tricky to where once you begin to speak, it will lower your hand. That's if you're not paying attention. There's an option that comes across the screen that's going to say you can cancel the lowering of your hand. But if you happen to miss that and your hand get lowered, and when you're giving praise or homage to one of the poets, don't just raise your hand again, and I will come back to you. I'll make sure that I get everybody their space and their time to share with us. So just dope. Appreciate y'all being here, and we're gonna open up with our first open mic poet, our amazing brother Christopher Moore. Y'all welcome him into the room.
Thank you, Mr.
Woo!
Witz. And congrats on your book, Mr. Witz.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I recently published a book called August Lent, which I'll put in the chat, the link on Amazon. I'll read two pieces from it. This one is called Stan Hendren of Pennsylvania. If you want your heathen ways, go east to New Jersey, you idiot. We pretend this land of potholes is the land of milk and honey, foolishly denying the reality of it as we wear rose-colored glasses. That's cute, you're a free thinker. Now how shall we stone this infidel? Our conscience is clear. You are the one who is impure. That one is actually based off of religious nuts from the redneck community that I grew up in. This last one is called Marionette Priest. I was your marionette priest. To your saintly altar I built, while you pulled the strings above. I preached your imaginary gospel to recruit more suckers for you, to anticipate a day you'll return, even though we both know you never will. The wine of your soul is bittersweet for a flock who has tasted reality. Thank you.
Give us that last line again. The wine in your
The
soul.
wine, yeah. The wine of your soul is bittersweet for a flock who has tasted reality.
Yeah, man. Christopher, I always appreciate you, man. I appreciate your humbleness and your delivery, and I appreciate your wordplay. Genius, right, brother. Thank you for sharing tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Witz. And if any of you want to buy a copy, I put the link in the chat.
Awesome.
Beautiful poems, Christopher.
Thanks,
Great to hear
Stephen.
you.
Awesome. Thank y'all for loving on our brother. We got more love for him, more comments. At this time, you can put it in the chat, and we'll keep the room flowing. Y'all open your hearts and y'all mics and show some love for the amazing Shaki G.
Shaka!
I guess. All right. So I have two pieces that I'm gonna do today. First one is Ode to My Body. They've told me that you are just a vessel, that you are not me and I am not you. But the way they stare makes me think the lines have blurred. I've always considered me bigger than my body, until my body became bigger than my potential. And ain't that the problem? That you are both big and body, never beautiful, never bountiful, so big no one can see the real me. I've learned to hate you, pretend it's not the same as hating myself. Just another problem I cannot run away from. No, the problem is that I'm not running enough. Jumping hurdles and pushing back does not burn the calories, just the bridges. You are just flesh hanging off my meat hook bones, which is to say, you are nothing short of a punching bag. Knuckles bloody, if I beat you enough, I can at least blame the swelling on the bruises. People only care about the pain when they can see it. Laugh when you mix it with your pride and swallow it. Say, don't you know you ain't meant to eat that much? Lately, I ain't been swallowing anything but antidepressants, and it still feels like too much. Body, how can I teach you to shrink yourself and still feel larger than life? Okay, and the second one, I put it on Instagram today, so you might have already heard it. But this one is called For Carly Russell. Women go missing every day, but when they finally decide to look, it is for someone who wasn't really missing at all, just someone who tried to make herself invisible. And ain't we all guilty of wanting to run away, start over in a big city where no one knows our names? I like to believe, maybe, she saw her younger self walking along the highway that day, made the mistake of thinking someone else would help, knowing that when Black girls go missing, no one looks for them. They just search for excuses. Forget to inspect the crime scene for a broken heart, follow the blood trail back to the last man to shoot his shot. Shell casings laid across the place she once called home. Instead of trying to hold her pain, they take back their prayers, turn them into anger, say, this is why we never care. Funny how abduction is only a problem when it's a ghost, and not when the mind has taken the body hostage. Baby girl, some of us are still praying for you, hoping you find your way without needing to feel lost first. But you learn you don't have to disappear to be magic. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying I understand.
Y'all open your mics and show some love to Shaki G.
G, Shaki, that was beautiful.
Oh, just beautiful.
I mean, touching. Very touching. I love that.
Breathtaking.
Come on, Nemo. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those epiphanic endings, like they're just like that like you take us through this journey and you give us all of these beautiful gifts of yours, and then at the very end you don't put a pretty red ribbon on it, and I love that. You don't put a red bow on it to end it, like you just give us more raw something to think about. Like, that's fire, Shaki. I'm gonna steal the last line from the first poem and I'm gonna say God gave it to me. I'm just letting you know that right now.
That's okay.
Love it. I love it. That's fire. That line, the mind takes the body hostage. Yeah, that resonates, because I think we all become prisoner of our mind at times. It's just whether we can find that freedom again. But it's always something that we find that we dislike about ourselves. And I think it was powerful how you displayed it in both pieces. The first piece was very mellow. I don't want to say melodramatic, but I felt it. Finding that discomfort, or finding the flaws when we look at ourselves. Or how do we are received in the eyes of others? And then that second piece was just so heartfelt and painful, because there's been so much abduction, with women and children as well. So then to flip it like you did, that you can abduct yourself, you can be your own captive. Just was powerful the way you do your works.
Mr. Witz,
Yes.
thank you. I heard Shaki G, I heard a prayer. That's what I heard in that last poem. I heard a prayer, and almost like when you at church, I heard a testimony. But most importantly, I just heard a prayer. It's just that profound and beautiful to me. And I'm so grateful that you wrote that piece. It was needed. Thank you, Asante-san.
Jackie,
Beautiful.
that piece, literally,
Come on, dope female. Come on.
No crying.
so
Take your time.
Take your time, dope.
okay, so ooh, the first piece, I can feel you. I can really feel you. You said antidepressants was still too much. My heart, I don't know if that piece was your piece, but baby, whoo. Sometimes it just, you never know what's what's internal and what comes out. I could never walk your shoes. But the way you position those words, it was like, you better listen to me. That moved me to tears, literally. And I'm almost like, I'm angry. But I'm also, my heart is I don't have the words. That was a beautiful piece. And then you came back with a second, you just pulled my heart. Because I was like, has anybody thought about what she could potentially going through for her to go to that extreme? And no one thought to say, baby, what do you, and she's captivated of her own self. I'm like, you hit the nail right on the head. Those two pieces really made me emotional. So thank you for those pieces.
Thank you. Sorry.
Beautiful. Beautiful homage. Continue to love on each other. It's necessary, especially when we opening up, you know what I'm saying? So if something resonates with you, yeah, share it by all means. Yeah. Thank you for those heartfelt words, dope female trainer. Thank you, Shaki G, for your poems. Beautiful work. Yeah. Anybody else got any love or homage you want to give to the poet, please put it in the chat. We're going to move forward with our next poem, with our next poet. We're going to go with dope female trainer. Y'all open your hearts and mics and show us some love.
You see, I was born by a river in a little tent, and just like that river, I possess the symbols of endlessness, geographical awareness, depths as deep as the flawless sea. I am that stable mind that's constantly creating currents of chaotic confusion while conquering the traumas caused by the critiques of consistent envy. I am that bold, bright, blazing, beautiful black chick. Call me Sarah Baartman, thinking my lips and hips are designed to make and break all your shit. I am the thought before you think it. I'm the pen, the paper, and the motherfucking black ink. I am your author, your editor, and the first one to support your shit. Remember, baby, I wrote this shit. Stood 10 toes down deep with you in your shit, from your ass to your nose. Hell, I was the sharpest that wiped your shit in that liquid gold, baby. Hell, I milk this shit. Make no mistakes about it. I make this shit look easy, chick. I'm the pan and the cake from the plate that your ass ate, but I ain't your mama. But I'm somebody's mama. And I'll be damned if I let you take my piece of mine, because this here piece is mine, because my worth is priceless. And I may not have graduated from college, but you can damn sure call me that street knowledge, and I can change from sense from your hands to mine. Multiply, divide, and increase your shit by 3 times, because I'm fucking dope. And like the rose that rolls from the concrete beneath your feet on constant repeat of empty echoes, exposing the woes that I no longer want to hold, but I do for you. Because to deny me is to most definitely deny you. You see, I be that cocaine rich, 100% authentic chick, grade A, type O blood that trickles history into your DNA. I am that Henrietta Lacks chick, covered in cracked backs and tattooed scars of sacrifice, chick. And now you claim that you came into this world alone. But I guess 10 months in my womb and you never considered this house your home. You see, I built this foundation, this stage, and this throne. And the only reason why I'm queen of the jungle is because I don't make that bitch my home. I am your Georgia Power. I'm your built-in PhD, graduated magna cum laude of Life University. You see, I am your educator, your peacemaker, your navigator, and your motivator. And when the trials and tribulations of life nearly got the best of me, baby, it was you that I thought about and I earned my motherly degree. You see, you owe your life to me. You are quick to point the finger when life offers you a slice of humility, knocking you on your ass, and rather than you taking a back seat, you want to blame all your shit on me, but baby, I am your safety. I'm your loyalty. I'm going to hold that ass down like gravity, willing to sacrifice every bit of me before death finds you. Wait, 23. You smell that? Baby, I am the air that you breathe. I'm your lawyer, your voice, your jury, and your transporter. And when tears fall from your eyes, baby, you best believe Shake G gonna be the judge to restore order because I'm your fucking justice. I fought for you. I took shots to you. I lost sleep for you, baby. I will die for you because I'm your protector. I won't lie to you and I'll never deny you. I'll shed tears for you and I'll pray for you because I'm your comforter. I'll break bread with you. My heart will always be here for you and I'm going to love and respect you, baby. This is my promise to you. But the one thing I will not do is to continue to be denied by you. Because, baby, I'm your mama. Oh.
Come on, go female trainer.
Yeah,
Come on. Y'all got some words to say. I know y'all got something to say about this. Come on, y'all.
I feel like most of the time we hear poetry from the child. Like it's always like poetry about dad or poetry about mom. And I like that you kind of write it in a different way, like write it to the child. I'm assuming that's that's what I got from the poem. I could be wrong, but I like that perspective.
Yeah, thank you so much. This one is a little switch up. It's a sapio. Well, sapio. It's erotica. Let me see if I can bring it down. I don't know about heart, so I gotta bring it to me. I don't know how to get myself out the screen. Let me see. I can get myself. I'll minimize it. Okay, there it is.
So,
Okay, go ahead, baby.
hey.
Here we go. This is the second piece.
That's going good. Just chilling.
Who's that? You off mic. Your mic is unmuted.
You're good now.
Okay. So this piece is called Your Hands, My Body. No, this one's called Life. I'm sorry. This is called Life. This is not Savior section. I'm gonna keep it the way it is. As she searches for solace from her Savior, she screams silent secrets of surrendered souls, thoughts of shameful sufferings, etched and sketches the scarlet letters that she so desperately sought out to escape. And the struggles of sacrifice pierces her skin, separating her sacred sense of sanity from the sins beset before her, labeling her now as a sight for sore eyes and tears, constantly reminding her that she, although numb to herself, feels the feelings of betrayal, mirrored memories marching in melodic mayhem, motivating mental meltdowns, eventually leading to madness. But like the rose that rose from the concrete beneath her feet on constant repeat of empty echoes, exposing the hope that her future holds, and evidence of her emotions imprint images of illusions while isolating the ignorance of consistent inconsistency. She be that bold, bright, blazing, beautiful blackness as she bleeds the blood of Black boys, perfectly positioned, projecting patience, purpose, protection, and power, brave beyond boundaries as she bows before destruction. She stands strong enough to be weak so that her seeds of tomorrow can succeed. Unforeseen foolishness forges failure upon fearful futures of tomorrow, while tattered trails of unspoken shadows stands defeated to truth thrown away as forget-me-nots, creating currents of chaotic confusion while defeat dangles the drums that beat the beat of beatings, cracked backs and tattooed scars of sacrifice. That holy be the worship tainted by the perception of angelic prophecy, while hearts beat the rhythm of death. Oh.
Y'all open your mics and show some love.
Wow.
That last line, hearts beat the rhythm. I was trying to type it out, but hearts beat the rhythm of death. That was just fire. The whole piece was, thank you, sis. Thank you. Whew.
I think it was right on time. I'm glad you came at that point. I knew you had something bearing bearing down on you, weighing on you. After you heard from Shaki G and allowed you to release it, I see your energy has transitioned. So now you are back to a balance right now. Um, at least it appears that way. So I'm glad that you came when you did, and your work was beautiful as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I got you, brother. I'm gonna move on. If anybody got any more love and how much you want to give to Shaki, to Dope Female Trainer, please put it in the chat. Um, and at this time, I'll ask that you open your hearts and your mics and show some love to our brother Nemo soon.
That's funny, Mo.
Hey, I'm sorry, I was typing in the chat, but I'll just say it. Those were really great pieces with you bring so much energy to your performance, if that's the right words.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a micro triptych and then something else I'd like to read. When my mind is fucked and my wife has to send a perfect stranger to pick me up from riding the lightning, I'm sitting in my wheelie chair and all I can see are the muscles standing out on this man's arm. And I know it's only a matter of time before I vomit on someone. And that's when I realize that I'm crossing over from the bad place to the good place, because that's what they said would be there on the other side of the lightning. And of course, it's going to burn, because that's what lightning does when it purifies. My bad brain is getting better, because that's what it's supposed to do when it rides the lightning. I find my pill case. Today isn't empty, and suddenly the day makes sense. I can never stray too far from my medicine because it changes who I am. My personality, the one I want, comes from a handful of little shapes and sizes with nonsensical numbers neatly printed that must mean something to someone who isn't here. I'm bound to this piece of plastic labeled with the days of the week, so I don't forget what it takes to be me every day. Personal pachyderms compact in peanuts, capable of processing those problematic memories randomly accessed. To make an array, attach trunk to mother tail and send to search for water. Dust jacket included. And then I'd like to read a poem to dedicate to my son on his 18th birthday. If love is possible, if these neurochemical processes somehow transcend and together create something more, know that I love you with all that I am. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
I love it. If love
Yeah.
is possible. Oh,
Right.
beautiful.
Right. So compact, but so enough, more than enough. You know, sometimes it only takes a sentence to speak how big your heart is. That's a beautiful dedication to your 18-year-old. You know, happy birthday to him and as well to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Anybody got any more love you want to give to the poet? It's okay if you can't find the words. Put it in the chat if you can. Thank you all for listening. We're gonna move on. Y'all open up your hearts and your mics and show some love to our next poet, Miss Marianne Peterson. Lord, I got you next, okay? Okay, unless you get another interruption. It's
Okay,
understood.
this one is called Alcohol Bliss. I wrote it on the 25th of this month. When I drink, I feel at ease. When I drink, I feel calm. When I drink, I do not think about my trauma. When I drink, I have fun. When I drink, I can be myself. I drink because I like to relax. I drink because I like to drink every so often. I drink because I can. The first one. The second one I'm going to do is called Rude Awakening, around the 23rd of this month. I got a rude awakening when I was bullied. I got a rude awakening when I was a victim of domestic violence. I got a rude awakening when I was sexually assaulted more than once in my lifetime. I got a rude awakening when I tried to end me more than once in my lifetime. I did finally get help after so many years. I had more than one rude awakening in my lifetime. That's it for that one.
Y'all open up your mics and show some love to our poet, Marianne Peterson. Marianne, always
Piece
appreciate how
is
you
so powerful.
Thanks.
Marianne, I've noticed that you've become a lot more vocal lately. You've been really opening up and really expressing yourself and becoming a little bit more internally and more personal. And I can appreciate that. I'm glad that either the poetry life has really embraced your coming out is or the assistance that you say that you received. I have noticed that you have become a lot more open and a
Yeah.
lot. You notice that as well. And you speak more and it's so it's a refreshing to hear your voice and hear how you know you really do have a lot to say and we're here to actually listen, so I'm encouraged that more, so thank you for being that person to just open up to us.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's part of the power that Marianne has is that she allows you to do it, to dig into yourself and be open. Due to her openness and her rawness of her life and everything that's happening around her. I appreciate you always, Marianne. Thank you for being
Thanks.
here with us.
Yep, you're welcome.
What's up? Anybody else got any love or how much you want to give to the poet? Put it in the chat, please. And at this time, we're going to open our floor to one of our new visitors, one of our new family members in the poetry community, my brother Lloyd Dodson.
Appreciate you, King.
Woohoo!
Appreciate
Let's
y'all
go.
indulging me for all of the interruptions. But when Mama called, I got to see. When Mama called, I got to answer.
You better.
Yeah, no doubt, I better. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm glad she here for me to go see what she wants. So
you better be, baby boy.
Yeah, no doubt. So thank you all for being here. I've enjoyed everything I've heard, and I'm honored to be in the presence of you because each of you is powerful in your own right. And Mr. Witz, like I told you earlier, I greatly respect you and appreciate you for creating and providing this platform, and the work that you've laid down and the track that you've set is absolutely phenomenal. I'm appreciative of it. So I want to share this piece with you. Some I wrote recently. I try to tell a story with what I share, what I write. and make you think, make myself think. This is titled Questions That Need Answers. How did Tommy O. Martin have no job but always wear fly gear like Hilfiger? And can someone please tell me why the US deficit continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger? It's ridiculous and it makes absolutely no sense. I'm guessing that this is much more than just a coincidence. I've lived long enough to know that life ain't fair. As for my best interest, does anybody really care? Why can't I get no help from my elected official? Got dismissed by them because their concern is artificial. But you best believe if soon as somebody gets shot for nothing by a crooked cop, they'll be the first one on the scene for a photo op. But where were you when that broken traffic light in my neighborhood needed to be replaced? Oh, that's right. You were somewhere else busy showing your face. Let's get off the politicians and take a look at the police. Riddle me this. Why is it that the incidents continue to increase? What incidents am I referring to, you might ask? The incidents regarding Black people continuing to come under attack. You know what incidents I'm referring to. Don't you dare act like you don't know. It's almost like we're back in the days of slavery and Jim Crow, when Black people had no rights and it seemed to be a daily event to go down to the town square and not watch a new Black person get lynched. Fast forward to today, when people can be sitting in their own home. Just like Justin Timberlake and T.I. said, they end up dead and gone. Why is it that you continue to do the things you do? You're the police. I don't expect this type of behavior from you. I guess that's why we call you the Popo. Because trust me, you're very disliked, especially when I look in the rearview mirror and see them flashing blue lights, stopping me for no other reason other than the simple fact I happen to be breaking the unwritten law known as driving while Black. Thought that your motto was serve and protect. Perhaps you should consider changing it to kill and disrespect. Shifting gears again, let's take a look at corporate America. Because from where I'm sitting, there ain't nothing fair in it. What's up with these corporate ceilings and quotas used to either deny or fill jobs? You're just like your ancestors. You continue to steal and rob. Why is it that you continue to do the things that you do? Because certainly you wouldn't want this type of behavior to be shown to you. I could go on, but it wouldn't make any difference because you threw away my resume without calling anyone I listed as a reference. I'm gonna go there. Why it only take a few months for a COVID vaccine, but we still ain't got no cure for cancer? These are just a few of the questions for which I'd like to get an answer. Poem. Thank you.
Woo, you better preach. You better preach.
Things that you go,
Thank you.
Wow.
You know what? That resume piece resonated with me because my name, my first name, as soon as people took a look at it, they would throw it away. So yeah, I can resonate with that as well. And it could be identical to somebody else, but because my first name is what it is, they throw it away.
Wow. Wow. And this second piece, it's a nod to how Mr. Witt's titled Who's Naked Up in Here. Thought about that, and I thought about being able to come on this platform tonight, and I came up with this. It's titled Where Are Your Clothes? You decided to step on out, but then you realize something wasn't there, causing you lots of embarrassment as people stopped to stare. Help wasn't required to cause anyone to want to take a look. Your life was already on display. It's pretty much an open book. But you didn't mean to be this open with your personal information. All of your business out there leaving nothing to the imagination. Some things are meant to be kept private, shared with only those closest to you. Showing it to any and everyone is something you simply should not do. But you decided to disclose that which no one else should have seen, as if it was the opening credits of a world premiere on a movie screen. It ain't no turning back. You can't put it back in. The cat's been let out of the bag. It's revealed and it's no longer hidden. Now that everyone knows this, you're not quite looked at the same. Got everybody wondering if you have no shame. You don't seem to be embarrassed. You don't seem to be upset. You received the type of response that you thought that you would get. A lot of folks would be worried, but with you, that just ain't the case. Not trying to duck and hide, you're confidently showing your face. Comfortable in your own skin, hell, why shouldn't you be? Them people pointing the finger at you got issues they don't want no one else to hear about or see. That's their situation, but yours is the topic of discussion. You're the one that has to deal with the fallout and face the repercussions. People talk about you behind your back instead of coming directly to the source. But when you confront them about it, they quickly try to reverse course. All of this started from a singular act that was done with no hesitation. People expect you to provide them with a satisfactory explanation, but you don't owe them nothing. What did they ever do for you? They gave you plenty of grief. That ain't hardly no gift to look forward to. Now, this is where things stand, and this is where things should end. Unfortunately, you're faced with reality of hearing about it over and over again. You must be satisfied, and it's all right to be naked, I suppose. But I gotta ask the question, where are your clothes? Poem. Thank you.
Come on, boy. Y'all open your mics and show some love.
Yeah, those were great. I
Mm.
love your endings.
Both pieces
Thank
of fire. I gotta go back to the first one first. I didn't speak on it, but it was so much food in that first poem because it's so much to question. You know what I'm saying? So much that we need answers for, and we need repair. You know, so many open wounds. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying, that they trying to put band-aids on.
right.
We need some stitching done. We need some real operations done to change the way things are.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, so I appreciate that first piece. The second piece, man, definitely you had me because you came in with the concept of who's naked up in here. The rawness of how we present ourselves today, and then have the nerve in that same breath to want respect. It go for men as well as it go for women because these men running around with their asses hanging out.
Yeah,
Like that's a decent way to present yourself. Um, Guaranteed that if they're around their elders, especially the women in their family, they're gonna check them to adjust and fix their clothes. So again, that go for men and women. Um, you are gonna be respected in the way you present yourself because
yes, sir.
people see you physically before you even open your mouth.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna shed a little light on what who naked up in here means because it really doesn't have to do with the revealing of the skin. It's about the bearing of the soul. Who naked up in here mean who's walking and living in their purest truth. So I mean who's living in their true self. Because a lot of people tend to put their superhero outfit on when you first meet them. You meet their Batman, their Superman, before you meet Clark Kent or Bruce
Mm,
Wayne, you know. So that's what I mean by that, like who's being true to themselves every time and all the time. Because when you live in that mannerism, then you don't have to pretend, you know. When you tell one lie, you got to continue to lie in order to keep that lie up. but I
Mhm.
definitely appreciate your take on it, and the way you brought that clarity to realization of how we present ourselves. So thank you for your share. I appreciate both of them.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
And welcome to the family, man. It's different on IG. You don't get the same embrace and connection as you can here because, like, we can all be in the same space. Everybody's face could pop up at the same time. You can see how what you're saying is affecting someone else. So, yeah, I appreciate you again. And welcome to the family.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel welcome. I appreciate you, everybody. Thank you.
So, anybody else got any love they want to give to the poet? All right, if you got anything you want to say, please put it in the chat at this time. And at this time, I will ask that you open your hearts and your mics and you show some love to our next artist, the magnificent, gifted Johnson Wilkerson.
Thank you. You could just say gifted. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. My camera wasn't coming up. Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me?
We can
Hear
hear
you,
you.
Queen.
And forgive me
Oh,
for that.
okay.
It's a force of habit. I see the name on the screen and I just try to make sure that everybody
Sorry.
know who we looking at. But I
All
got
right.
you.
All right. All right. Here we go. I'm actually tonight, if you all don't mind, I have a show coming up this Saturday, a feature. So I want to just kind of bear some new pieces, if that's okay. All right, this one is called Shade Under Your Brim. The best shade is the one under your brim, casting in the space only what you need to see. In a world that attracts us, lure us, browbeat us with the same images. Barbified to unrealistic beauty marks, scars the vision we choose to see. Ubiquitous faces blend, and we lose eyes of what should be. We need our own. We need our own sight to become aware of our view, unblinded to the cunning of unparalleled senses, sight focused, enlightening the best parts of the span of your position. There's nothing like the shade underneath your own brim. That's the first piece. I'm still kind of working on it and shaping it, but that's the first one. Y'all good? Y'all cool? Okay. It was bad. It sucked. Keep working. Y'all don't know.
I like it.
I'm trying to save my comments until after the second piece, but it was definitely powerful. Always like your voice, always appreciate, your delivery first and foremost. But conceptually wise, the shade underneath your brim, um, what that's kind of like again the concept of this whole evening of who's naked up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The bearing of you. It's nothing like you being who you are.
Right.
And you can hide that as much as you choose to, but the truth always comes out in your being, in your existence. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. So the theme on Saturday is Waiting to Exhale. It is a women's event. And so the theme, like I said, is Waiting to Exhale. All right. So this next piece, I need y'all participation. Y'all are not live, but y'all almost live. So when I say queens, even the men that support queens, when I say queens, I want y'all to unmute and say yes. So queens.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. All right, one more time. Queens.
Yes.
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 All right, here we go. Life is a walk, on a tightrope of rough terrain with burning lava at our feet. Yet we walk through the flames. We've been through it. Times where we pull the bed sheets above our heads, wishing for an escape. Yet we still rise, ensuring all got fed, even at the expense of our own gain. We still rise. So, Queens.
Yes.
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 Even when you have a crown that you feel has been unfounded, I need you to place it, pick it up, rearrange it, but never slip it off. Because our ancestors paved the way so that we could proudly wear a crown upon our heads. And if we don't recognize our own gold, if we don't seek out our own treasure, then we lose. We lose the very treasure and buried of our gold, the heritage of our value, the Nefertiti's infused power and beauty, Harriet Tubman's tenacious drive, and Angela Davis' mighty roar. So, Queens.
Yes.
Come on with it.
Oh, poet.
If you see a crown slipping, rearrange it. If you see a crown unfounded, pick it up and place it upon her head. Adjust it, reposition it, but don't knock it off. Because it's time for us to crown one another. It's time for us to lift one another. It is time for us to help each other soar. So, Queens.
Yes.
Yes.
Life is a walk on a tight rope of rough terrain with burning lava at our feet. Yet we're not walking alone. Queens.
Y'all open your mics and show some love to the poet.
Wow.
I love that piece.
Yeah.
I will say that the callback should be more than yes. Like you can make it like heard that, or just something more of like a reclamation of it rather than just saying yes. But other than that, I love it.
All right. Received. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
It was powerful. Definitely. It's like taking back control. That's what I got from that. Take back control of you. Don't let what someone does or how they view you be what holds you and what moves you. Take back control of your queendom. So I love it. I love the piece. Any more
Thank you.
love and support you want to give to the poet? Okay, if so, at this time, you can put it in the chat. As we keep moving along, y'all open your hearts and your mics and show some love to Escape Artists.
Hi, thank you for having me. So the first poem I'm gonna do is called Why Do I Write? Writing is an underrated art, an understatement. I started writing because I hated everything, including myself. In every poem I would write depended on my demise. I could kill myself in a poem and wake up in time for school, a place where everything is poetry. My best friend was poetry, the only friend to comfort me. My favorite teacher was poetry. And even though I learned a lot through pain, it was poetry that helped me understand it. When I was lost, poetry was my North Star, my life raft, my comfort zone, my reason for being. Whatever I needed it to be, it's poetry. And now I write because it's just in me. The stories, they reveal themselves to me like a sixth sense. They haunt me like it too. The dead people, they want to breathe. They don't care that it's 3 o'clock in the morning and the mind needs to slumber. They want me to give them life the way they saved mine. I owe it to them, a debt I can never repay. Either way, they force their way out. The words, the stories, the poems, the feelings, the characters I'll never be, the ones I grieve. Not all of them make it to the heaven of parchment. Many wash away in the hell of short-term memories. My heart carries ink through my veins. My lungs give the oxygen to the words I speak. I write because it's my very existence. I think God must be a writer, as even my DNA is written. That was my first one. The second one I'm gonna do is called Born in the End. It's kind of heavy and a little lengthy. I only did it once before, so I kind of want to see how it flows. So here goes. It's called Born in the End. We live in an age of make-believe. No, it's not a fantasy. It's not a Disney movie. This is dystopia. Somewhat like a movie scene, more like the Twilight Zone. We are the stories we read about, the poor that feeds the rich, where they think they're doing us a favor by paying us a living wage. When it goes right back, they take it all away. In taxes, they say we're paying our dues. Call it fees and penalties. I call it robbery. Corruption runs deep. Politics is all a get-rich-quick scheme. Politicians' pockets lined with green, putting profit over people like they don't have the same needs, like they don't breathe, like they don't bleed, like they're all just machines underneath. Neighborhoods are replaced by Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, while my grandmother, who helped pave the way, finds herself with nowhere to stay. My neighborhood doesn't look the same. I know they say things change. I can't raise my baby in the places I used to play. It's all been replaced or displaced. While everyone is struggling, developers go hunting, preying on the ghettos we called home, not to build homes for people to live out their dreams, but for luxury apartments residents can't afford, so they can charge a mortgage to walk through the door, stepping over the poor to live on the top floor. My mom can't even afford healthcare because that's a scam too. Pay premiums just to pay a copay, and your medication won't even be covered because Big Pharma is a disease lover that partners with agriculture to poison our food or make us pay extra to omit the toxicity they include, to make us ill, to send us back to Big Pharma for another Band-Aid pill. People are literal slaves for companies and child labor and sweatshops. Bring us the latest iPhones and Gucci flip-flops, and while we're on the topic of fucked up shit, let's just talk about it. How crime is just a social construct, where mass shootings are punishable when done by the citizens and not the military. I mean the police. But companies can poison generations without a single threat of punishing. If you're lucky, you can join a class action lawsuit with a minimum funding. Just ask all the mamas who powdered their babies with Johnson and Johnson, the family company. They wave their magic bank accounts and make it disappear. Truth is hard to come by because all the media does is lie, trying to instill fear in our minds, pushing whatever agenda they provide. The owners of the world that want to keep alive. That's why we don't hear about the world burning down around us, but you're sure to know what the celebrities wore at the Met Gala. An event parading psychotic pedophiles dressed as false deities trying to be something they'll never be. They were all once human, but they got infected with the greed. It seems to plague the human race, leaving a legacy of disgrace. And there are crimes they don't speak of, we've yet to touch. The Bible says the worst is yet to come. I knew I was born in the last days when I was growing up. And for that specific reason, I never wanted to bring into this world another living being. The guilt I have for creating my baby girl in the middle of the end will never cease. Death, famine, war, pestilence. I can hear the horsemen in the distance. The sky has already begun to fall. How do I look my baby in the eyes and prepare her for demise. In this land of make-believe, I wish it was more like Disney and less like Revelations 18. Oh. Thank you.
Read poet. Y'all open your mics and show some love to the poet.
Oh my God, escape artists, there's so much truth in both those pieces. But the last piece is, it's just, it just grabs you, it's gripping, and so much truth. And hopefully creates a sense of awakening and all around. Beautiful, beautiful write, both pieces.
Thank you.
I agree with her that last one was the one that really punched, because I think we all have a sense, some sort of sense of fear that we have for our children. In this coming up in this society, it's like things got a bit worse from when we were young and coming up. CP, I see you got your hand raised. You wanted to say something, brother? Or you just twiddling your pen up there? No. Yeah, I don't want to step on nobody. I want to make sure everybody is speaking out and giving their love and homage to these poets. But yeah, that one definitely resonate with me. Having two young black sons and not I'm avid in their life, but it's like I only get to be around them 2 days out of the week. I used to wake up to my boys every morning, but in the separation of me and their mother, I only see them on the weekends, and most of the time on the weekends I'm working. So it's like, am I pouring into them enough? Am I giving them enough of what they need? Are they kept? Are they grasping what I'm trying to feed? You know, and yeah, there's a lot of times that I fear for them because um, our black, not that our women aren't targets, but our black boys are definitely major targets when it comes to violence, violent acts, and just how they're loving on each other. You know, you know, when I was young, we fought, but you can live beyond that, and you can even make amends after that. But today, these kids, they don't fight. They take each other's life. So it's a lot of times I'm fearful of situations or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, how that can be an outcome, you know. So just trying to prepare them and ready them for this world and still allow them to be children. It's the battle that I fight with. Just
Yeah, I feel you.
speaking for myself.
No, I feel you. It's like, uh, I don't know, it's just scary, like looking at the future and thinking like, oh man, what kind of struggles are they gonna have to, what kind of struggles am I gonna have to prepare them for, you know? And it's like, these are struggles I never even encountered with like the new technology and just the different direction that the world is going. It's like, I don't even know what to prepare for.
Powerful shares. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for sharing your voice. So, y'all give some love to the
Thank you
poet
for having me.
every week. You're welcome. Or that there's a bed or a cot or a couch, whichever you need at the time. If you need an ottoman, we got ottomans sitting around. Whatever you need. Um, but let's continue to love on each other. If there's any more love or how much you want to give to the poet, please put it in the chat. And at this time, open your hearts and your mics for my brother CP Mays.
How's everybody doing?
Well, man, you got the Trayvon hood on tonight, so I'm scared.
Yeah, and I'm in Texas too, and like we've been having like 100 and something degree weather, and like right now I looks like a straight up crackhead. Like I don't even want to take out the trash right now. I just look like I'm stoned on some new shit. Like I'm gonna pass the hell out, but it's cold in the house. Um, I have an old poem, then I have some new shit. So yeah, let's start with the older poem first. Okay, it's called For Jane. For Jane. The dog didn't eat your homework, but the poverty line did. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry that's an honest truth to be trusted in as much as a Jesus Christ trusted in God. You went from Thunderbird to Tennyson, back to Thunderbird, from paternity test to paternity test, spent more time with Yeshua when you should have been 401k hustling, also amen shuffling resumes on careerbuilder.com. Meet God halfway, some would say. I say riding shotgun with your religion sometimes comes with an expensive ass car note to pay what you weigh for peace. You pray to be paved in your everyday passion. Jane, you were born with the pulse full of it, dropped out of college with the pocket full of cancerous problems. You ovarian heroin, hard times, heavy heart beating you to hell. You still held up heaven when your massive tears left your neck too weak to walk upright with the thrift store's halo. You are a baked dinner chicken and foil paper for your family, fabulous 5'4" brunette with brown eyes. Our soul spoke slowly over flu shots on the 6th floor inside of our Veteran Affairs Hospital. Miracles are the only meds the Messiah issued us in that moment. And Jane, I'm sorry for that. Between the both of us, maybe we could have mustered up enough change to rewire, reset receipts, and return policies for all the reoccurring nightmares in our brain. Jane, passion and pain. I was also born with the pulse full of it. Post-traumatic stress disorder, survivor's guilt. I have a firecracker fist fight for a heart, a sincere fuck you that I can't seem to edit, embedded in my Marine Corps reasoning. Whatever forced me into giving up riding shotgun, forced me into forgive me now. It's Nirvana or go nuclear. I'm made mostly out of pipe bombs and barrels of gasoline, made mostly out of mushroom clouds and fluid second finger sign languages. We've been paying for life for so long that we both can't really afford to die anymore. Miracles are the only meds the Messiah issued us in that moment. And Jane, I'm not sorry for that. Poem. It's weird to be, I sat back and I pinned that, I take my laptop with me everywhere, my MacBook. And I'm in the Veterans Affairs Hospital, whatever, for whatever reason, I'm in Veterans Affairs. And the top floor is the mental health ward, right? So I go there and everybody's face looks broken, defeated, or like glass half empty, you know? Because most of them like are waiting for meds, the meds in their system, trying to figure out what's going on, been in a highly depressive state, this, that, and the third. And I watched this lady sit there and she had the same look that I had. Like I wasn't hiding behind my music, but listening to music sometimes allows you to overhear everything in the world around you because people think you're listening to music and not listening to them, you know? So like tuning in my ears to the world that was around me and not just focused on my Lil Wayne, I started to notice like, wow, like these meds are the only miracles the Messiah is issuing us in this moment because we're going through so much hard shit. And for that, we should be thankful, even though no one really wants to be on meds. So that's what kind of sparked that poem. But the new poem. So real talk, y'all. I probably haven't been asleep really for about, I don't know, 38 hours, maybe up. Doing work with a musician out in California, and he's 2 hours behind me. So when it's 2 o'clock in the morning here, right, it's like midnight there. So it's like prime working time or whatever. So this poem hit me about 2:30 in the morning, and I couldn't let it go, and I had to write it. So yeah, here's the new piece. It's called 2023 New Releases and Matinees. Almost and probably are the posted armed guards protecting all of the movie theaters in your mouth. Theater 1. You play the villain in your own heartbreak. At 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Theater 2. Girl meets girl, falls for boy, boy falls in love with everything you won't ever become. At 3:45 at Theater 7 in 17 minutes, a motion picture of every one of your well-developed negatives will take center stage, starring Forget Everything Behind You Left, co-starring with an ego that will always only know how to exit stage right outside Theater 8. It's the Matinees. Best Director in Motion Pictures, the two nominees are Donald Trump for the riots he incited for which he would never get indicted, and George Bush, who never found any weapons of mass destruction but did find pipelines for oil production, and I'm sorry, will win Best Supporting Actress in all of their trumped up alibis. Best Featured Actor in a Film, Jesus, for his role in playing Jewish, not Christian. Best Costume Design, whoever took a Middle Eastern man and dressed him up to be a hippie, blonde-haired, white, blue-eyed, white Jesus Christ, that's whitewashed. Theater 9, Best Set Design, Dearest Remember Remind, Leonardo da Vinci arranged every actor, character in the Last Supper's master painting, its plasters painting with the planting of faith, mankind's two mustard seeds were in that picture, perfect, painting perfect, pasture, mazes, moxie, maybe too hungry for a halo, so I got a Last Supper go table, all of that for my return from the rapture. Best choreographer, best musical score goes to Michael Jackson for Billie Jean, for the kids, not my son, secretly dedicated to all the baby mamas in the fucking house. Best adaptive work from a novel, every human editor editing every published new Bible. Honorable mentions goes to not LeBron James, the other King James Version, the New King James Version, the New English Bible, the English Standard Versions, and lastly, the New Living Standard Versions. Give it all up for the editors of the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, best indie film editor is, ladies and gentlemen, who decided to kick the Gospel of Judas and the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene and edit it right out of the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look outside Theater 12. Best cinematographer in an action drama for Toxic Relationship goes to, poster says, God, for best toxic relationship with son, from which he left his son nailed to the Christ hard. Let's call that stigmata the scars. Back outside Theater 9, a red carpet to the Matinee Awards fashion show begins. Truth is, Jesus just had one religion. That one religion just won the award for only world's one religion. Should be love. Truth is, Jesus just had one religion, one world religion. Truth is, Jesus just won the award for only one world's one religion. And that one world religion should be love. Love. Poem.
Ooh,
Whoa.
fire.
Okay.
Ooh.
Stayed up for a good
Yeah.
reason. Okay.
Shit. Shit. Man, CP, there's so much in there, man. So much in there to pick apart as always, bro. Your mind is a mansion for other poets. I just don't know which room to visit, and I don't want to get lost in there. It's like I go into one room, I might stay in there too long and miss what's happening in the other room. Your brain is crazy, bro. I'm really, really honored to have you in our space.
Oh, man. It's an honor to be here. Yeah. I took my words of inspiration. I don't try to give words of inspiration. It just comes out. But earlier today I was at an open mic, right? A virtual open mic. And someone took pot shots at spoken word artists and performance poets. I kept it cool because that's not me to, I'm not gonna start a dialogue in an open mic because that's not the place to start a dialogue, right? But I
I'm
got
sorry, brother. Could you repeat what you just said? Somebody did what now?
took pot shots at spoken word artists and performance poets like they were less than academia poets, like they were less than page poets, like we didn't deserve the respect of any other person getting published in a college. And like I come to realize that whether you label yourself a spoken word artist, a performance poet, a page poet, which technically the moment you read your shit out loud, you become a spoken word artist, but that's a whole nother argument. Like with all of that stuff being said, like I think sometimes we have to stop giving a fuck, like, and get out of our own way and let whatever creative shit comes, like just trust yourself and like, I don't know how this shit's gonna end, but I trust I'm gonna pull this shit off somehow, some fucking way. I don't know how I'm gonna take this beautiful girl to lunch tomorrow, but when I ask, I'm gonna pull it off somehow, some way it's gonna work. So like, y'all never stop pulling shit off somehow, some way, because people like me need it, you know? So yeah. Yeah.
Well said, brother. Well said. Thank you. The escape artist, he said, good night. Thank you, sweetheart, for coming out tonight. Good night to you. And yeah, you know, your pen is sharp as well, so keep pushing your message. I'm proud of you for your voice. Yeah. Yeah, just amazing, CP, as always, man. Thank you for the blessings, man. We definitely appreciate you. King James, thank you for coming in the building tonight, brother. I see you in here. I didn't get everybody. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, y'all got any more love y'all want to give to the poet? Please put it in the chat. And at this time, open your hearts and your mics to the amazing brother of mine, DJ Houston. Let's go.
I'm going off the maze.
I was surprised to see your hand risen. I said, "Oh well, I know I didn't get it, but I seen it raised." I said,
But a lot of times I come in, I say, "Well, brother Witz, see me, but I say, okay, let me raise my hand just in case." Peace and blessings. How y'all doing, man? I agree with Maze. I always tell people, because I've heard the story of, okay, are you a page poet or a stage poet? I'm like, somebody told you that to fool you into believing that you could be either and not both. So we've let people's tongue paint us imperfect when we're all perfect in the stages that we are and where we are. Whether you just started writing or you've been a writer forever, you're perfect where you are because nobody grows. I had explained earlier today that I just wrote this. I'm gonna read the poem I just wrote. I haven't even reread it yet. I was writing this and that's why my hand wasn't raised. But I had to tell somebody today that maybe I wrote this poem in 20 minutes or an hour or 2 days. But it took me my whole life to get it. It took me a whole life to get these words to order this way, to form this. Okay, now appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Anyway, the first poem is Duty. I haven't reread it yet. I'm working on it. So here we go. Scrape skin from palms while constantly pulling hope out of a burning furnace. Should not this be considered therapy? Pasted hope's ashes brand new more times than words will allow me to say, but faith, built faith from bones, marrow missing, sculptured love from fractured pieces of hearts left over from relations that had no sail, no oars, could not ship afloat. I, man of dark skin in a country where dark skin can't man, cannot count the number of times heard I'm all right. When life was ablaze all around me, must be considered a pyromaniac's love story. Stop responding, I was all right. The day I wasn't. The day discovered pick scars will never heal. Words mentally pre-recorded, locked and loaded in this esophagus, ready to rapid fire as each opportunity presented itself. Replaced I'm all right with excellent. Thank you for asking. Forcing myself to think, to check the pulse of my thoughts, gauge the pace of this heart, redirected the direction of my eyesight, the movement of my toes, the position of my fingers, tame tongue, touching thoughts, too tough to quiet. Being excellent takes a thorough once over. A mid-minute, semi-serious self-evaluation, size and or seized seismic frequencies. It's tragic to understand why men struggle to cease. The constant pounding pain presents passing impatiently through my pulse. Wish I had known to ask the questions, not just assume I would grow into an answer. No one ever said knowledge was automatically comes with age, although gray is a designation you've been here the longest. Dear Pops, out of all of your grandchildren, you have a couple of grandsons capable of reciting the number given them by a system quicker than the moniker their parents assigned them at birth. Haven't given you an update in years, didn't know being Black and man was an unsolvable mathematical equation. No matter how good our math, would never be able to solve the equation America presents as it manipulates the glory each time they watch Black blood bleed. Repeating numbers centuries old would not enable it answerable. Had I known each morning I watched you shave, it was your personal ritual taught you during the war you fought, how to rid yourself of yesterdays. Bet you witnessed too many unforgettables. Did you know you would have to fight harder if you survived? Did not know your morning shave was preparing you for a new day. Must believe if it was whispered in my presence, I would have listened. Wish someone would have told me you must render your back bare of yesterday's burdens for today. Today may have added weight. The last time my pen was this heavy, it became impossible to stay between the lines. They were chalked out long before I got there. Keep writing salvation is hard to read amid layers and layers of caution tape. Our blood and bones were the building blocks that made 50 states possible. Wish I had known to ask. How there are no caged birds, it's caged men shrouded in dark skin. How did you know which you to take with you? America don't truth too much no more. Never really adjusted it in our neighborhood. Her refusal to Black justice and white justice equally is evidence we the people still ain't we still ain't people or persons or humans. Wish I knew which questions to ask, which answers I should offer just in case my sons like me can't verbalize a request hoping someone would follow it with the proper response. I'm all right will not suffice these days because none of us are. All right, I mean. Stop using it for an answer, could not substitute it for truth at first. No Black man, truth at first. Not one ear be prepared to hear centuries of built up frustrations passed down for generations. These be my grandfather's frustrations, my father's irritations, my brother's annoyances, my uncle's disturbances. Wish I knew who to ask, what I'm supposed to say. When the next how are you gets tossed my way. Stop responding I'm all right when I wasn't. When I couldn't me to myself, couldn't mirror in the mornings, stop shaving too much bloodletting. Wish I knew what to say. I'm excellent. Thank you for asking. Has to be self-checked, system established so far. That's all I got. And the second piece is let's see. I had to pull it up. So how y'all doing, man? I'm enjoying the poetry. I'm enjoying everybody in here. Trying to find something I hadn't. I'm gonna do this for Wit since Wit's made me write it. Wit's made me write this poem. Okay, it's titled "Heaven's Answer."
Oh.
I've prayed the same prayer since I was a boy. You never knew how answers look or sound until the answer is magnified in pure magnificence. Until heaven, hallelujah, you are a goddess. The day you arrived, showed up, walked by, the second we met, God messaged me in my DM. You can tell when messages are not of this earth. I was given instructions to love you even before we spoke. Before our eyes greeted our hearts in jubilee, I was ordered to only caress you when invited to touch you in the most sensual of ways. I can only imagine after seeing all the things God blessed you with. He was looking out for me. The first time I laid you to rest was not a part of the lane. I unwrap you as the gift you are, massage you from your hair follicles to the heels of your glorious feet. I had strict orders to take my time. I whispered to your cells, you are the delicate delight, sent me to marvel, to discover how this frame could hold such beauty. I kissed you in places those before me did not even know existed. You expressed how you'd only seen rivers and oceans in movies, how you didn't think it was possible to empty the 60% of liquid your body was made of. I promised to be gentle, to teach you how Moses and I possess similar God-given qualities, how staffs are magical, how this rod is comforting. He parted the sea while I just wanted to teach you empty. Show you cups running over ain't shit compared to oceans, downpours, and any other natural phenomenon you would reference, comparing the gathering of us for the rest of your days. I will lick open the floodgates, kiss awake the dam you didn't know had a release valve. I have orders to make you tremble, make you forget your legs are not supposed to open when you see me. But hold your body firmly when standing. You will not know rest. You will know rest is not possible when we lay down. Your body will be the response to my call. You can ride me to heaven or any other destination your mind can conjure. David wrote of me when he said, my rod and my staff shall comfort you. All the biblical scriptures of the glory of days, you should read the splendor of our nights. Beyonce told you she didn't think you was ready for this jelly. The way that ass shakes when you glide. I know what I'm supposed to do, like LL, I'm gonna keep doing it and doing it and doing it well. I'm writing a new Bible, carving scriptures on how to love you, analyze the proper placement of hands under that ass when arching your back, how this be the proper way to get the job done if you dare call it work. I claim it a sacred duty placed in my DM. You can tell when messages are not of this earth. I was given instructions to love you even before we spoke. Before our eyes greeted our hearts in jubilee, I was ordered to only caress you when invited, to port your waters the way Moses taught me, to make your cup runneth over, make you shout goodness and mercy, how glorious that ass looks when it's coming and going. Understand the theory of Columbus. Claim that ass is mine. With all the glory attached, that shake, that wiggle, all mine from the moment I witnessed this delightful movement. Which made me write that anyway. I'm just sharing this.
When that ass is coming and going.
Damn.
I think this is the poem that I heard when you wrote it, right, AJ? Is this the one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I know this poem. I've heard this poem. I kiss you in places that those before didn't know existed. Oh my goodness. Woo! Okay, that was
I don't think you're
awe-inspiring.
ready for this
For the jelly. That was awe-inspiring, like the sunrise or sunset that is behind you. Well done.
Lord
Thank you.
Jesus.
AJ, your pen never seems to amaze me, brother. Never give us a dull moment with your description and your thought process, man. You always take us on a journey. You know, I embrace the love. That's all you, bro. That's all you, man. Just amazing, right? It's always. So, and the new
I
piece,
appreciate it,
new
man.
pieces is amazing. It's amazing as well. I think the second piece just took us on another journey that really that really overshadowed that one. But yeah, man, so much in that first piece as well. I can't wait to go back and revisit it.
No, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate y'all listening, man. Thank y'all for the love, man. It's always amazing to come here and hang out with fellow presenters that's growing every day. It's the best we can do.
You know, peace to
Edgar gotta finish that song.
my boy Keys in the building. Y'all see, did he just leave or he just left out? My boy Keys was in the building. That's my videographer. He's working on some work with me, and I was just honored to have him peek in just for a moment, even though he stepped out. But I got something amazing that we've been working on. And I can't wait till I can present it to you all.
For sure, man. It's awesome.
So yeah, but I didn't want to take away from the love. Anybody else got any love that you want to give to our brother AJ?
Miss Betty has her hand raised.
Oh, I see it. I'm just trying to make sure I get all the homage in the room. So at this time, thank you, Gifted, for the acknowledgement. But at this time, if anybody got any more love that you want to give to the poet, please put it in the chat. And at this time, I ask that you open your hearts and your mics and show some love to Mama Betty.
Go, Mama Betty.
Oh,
Ow.
hi. Hey, how y'all doing? Anyway, I got this one poem, and you guys probably heard it before. I wrote it for my best friend, my sister, Amita, her son. And she's a wife of a veteran who's going to glory now, dear friend. Poem for Amita. I remember the glee when he asked you for your hand, giddy with the emotions of new birth. He put a garden down in the backyard full of snap peas, onions, artichokes, heirloom tomatoes on vines, a peach tree for wine. His memories longing for his hometown, Boley, Oklahoma, close to his chest. The brotherhood of neighbors lacking this far west. A proud black man in a uniform of overalls, clean, the legs taut, crease, harking back to a uniform of war. Relax now, you survived. Able to wear a dress uniform on military release. A family man who wanted to be a family man, but there would be subtle intrusions, unwarranted agitations to a fertile mind. A devout Muslim holding women, children in high esteem. But in the midnight hours of a mind momentarily not free, you wrestle demons, storms, and snakes. Thunderous, explosive sounds you thought you heard were, in fact, your family screams. The rifle you pulled from under the mattress, that sanctuary of love, you actually built that bed. You held it, not her, close to her head. That's the night you lost your world. A soldier once who fought for peace in that realm. But there would be no comfort for you. You're in darkness, gurgling, trying to catch your breath in a turbulent sea, a place one can imagine or wish to be. As morning enters, we sit at the kitchen table, a family all eating from that bowl of PTSD. That's my poem.
Oh, wow. All eating from that bowl of PTSD.
Mhm.
That was, wow.
Really
It's just really, bringing to awareness how it affects everyone, not just that person, but it affects the whole family, the loved ones that are going through that with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Wow.
Mama Betty, it's so amazing to have you back. I'm glad that you're back with us. And yeah, like you said, what happens to us, um, it affects our whole universe.
Yeah.
If you look at ourselves as a planet, everybody's a planet, or whatever, whatever happens to your planet affects the planets around you. Everybody that's, you have eyes always watching you. May not be the same set of eyes. Um, and it may not catch you always at the same point in time, but there's always someone watching you in your neighborhood,
It's
in
true.
your family, maybe in your household. Um, but yeah, what happens to you affects all those that love you and care for you. Yeah, and even some stuff that you know just may be um passing you by. You know, it's human nature that we feel. So when something dark happens and you bear witness to it, it has an effect on you. Um, it can even be nightmarish, um, an ongoing thing. You know what I mean? Um, Yeah, it's just a lot with that right there that resonated, Mama Betty. It's so dope having you. Did you want to share another one?
So this is another one I wrote. When did I write this? I think last year. Anyway. And it's untitled. So sad, a noose you held. So sad, a noose you tied, blood soaked, magenta virgin cotton necktie of trustees, woven of curled savage slave masters' fears, a gift to you, an overseer on a plantation determined to emasculate kings, a travesty on that day. You cursed a weeping willow tree, drained it of all water. It fell crushing to the ground. My poem, it just disappeared. Oh, excuse me. It fell crashing to the ground. Dry limbs, its bow, smarting from the sting of another coward, voluntarily slapping, hacking, chipping away the green leaves, majesty of love. Lying ahead, an accurate landscape, a desert void of soul. You kidnap black love, and there is no wind or breath in your empty songs. Only the swinging, slapping, aimlessly misdirected searching of your body, hitting concrete walls. And that's that poem. I guess you could say that's a blues poem.
You cursed the weeping willow tree.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I love that. Beautiful.
Yeah, powerful piece.
That was beautiful.
Especially, the masculine
Kings.
black male,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a heavy piece as well, Mama Betty. All your pieces are deep, except for when you loving on us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, outside of that, then even those have their depths to it. I
And
don't want to say except
very
for,
profound.
but
Yeah.
the
Hey,
effect that
Kendra.
it has on us. We
Right.
love you and thank you for being here tonight and sharing.
Thank you.
Yes.
One love.
Any more love that you all want to give to the poet? So put it in the comments. Is there anyone that I missed that would like to speak tonight?
I guess I can read, but you guys heard this before.
No, there's no judgment in here. If you want to share, the mic
Okay.
is yours.
Since I'm feeling some kind of way, I will just lay here and pretend that you're near, pretend that your moans are close to my ear for as long as possible, where you won't disappear into the stratosphere. Pretend as your scent fills me with reminders of you. Pretend mine drifts, lingers as the tips of my fingers caress you in shifts, compelling me to scratch that itch. Pretend that I hear the deep tenor of your voice, never lacking in skilled whispers, awakening the kraken from its hibernation, wet as if your tones was libation. So I'll pretend that I'm content as if I'm spent from your insatiable ministrations to keep my pretense most pleasant at present. Poem.
Look, I'm about to pass out if I don't eat, but that was hot.
Well, thank you. Please eat, because I did.
And we can't have you passing
Y'all
out.
getting
Unless
famished.
you
Yeah,
making the
please get your.
announcement.
Oh, absolutely. Go get your eat on, sweetie. Go get it
Right,
on.
right.
Long let us see. Everybody has been so fired, so but yeah, y'all getting me hungry.
All right, then.
Thank
And
you
you
for
heard
being
this
here
one
with us
before, too.
and sharing space with us.
Absolutely. I look forward to listening to the replay because I had to step away for a minute. And I'll just read this one just for practice because you guys heard it before. It is Serenity. I am a barren land, devoid of any inhabitants, yet I bloom for special occasions. There are peaks and valleys of wonderment, awaiting the rise of the sun, the gift of the day, the fullness of the moon, and the strong caress of the breeze, bringing happiness to mountaintops, various mounds of earth, as it circles around and through the bush, discovering a bud's appreciation of its attention. It dares not to neglect it in its travels across the expanse, although like a ram in the bush, in its power, in the center dwelling within, lies a most intense fuchsia-colored bloom, hidden like a diamond in the rough, but carefully protected due to its importance, its sensitivity. It requires photosynthesis. For technical clarification, a conversion of light energy into chemical energy through cellular respiration that can later be released to fuel the activity. This is desired, and I dare say, needed on occasion to thrive. It welcomes attention. The strength of the breeze is necessary to bring it to release. This bud's desire is to come to full bloom. It requires a certain source that provides not only warmth, but the accompaniment of movement to stir up the ravine for moisture to flow, to nourish it for growth. The nearby ravine in its eagerness will take on the rhythmic winds to aid in the pollination potential, ultimately bringing serenity to the land once again. Poem.
Come on, Brooklyn. With your bad stuff.
Y'all open your mics and show some love to the poet.
Is the camera she'll be wearing? This is the camera.
Love my poetry family. Appreciate you guys,
We
as
love you,
always.
Wayne. Thank you for opening your mic and opening your heart tonight as well.
Thank you for
see,
sharing,
you got plenty
sir.
of love in the chat. You got plenty of love in the chat, so make sure you go in there and you snatch that out and get those embraces. Is there anyone here that I didn't catch that would like to share before we close out? I see Black Noise just came into the building, and I see Kendra in the building. So, okay, I see Black Noise hand this out. So, y'all, at this time, open your hearts and your mics and show some love to our brother Black Noise.
Come on, Black Noise.
Hello, hello. How you guys doing tonight? I'm sorry I'm on the late show.
No, you good, brother.
Then, I didn't know what I was gonna pick, so just pick whatever. I wish you was my pen, so we can make a deeper connection, writing until our hearts transcend into unconditional wordplay and feeling. I want to write with her, descend into the caverns of her soul, recite with her, breaking the mistakes from around her lips. Then, and only then, will she be mine, becoming something more than this cylindrical utensil. I want to write about her feet, making them sound like what they are. There is no ground worthy enough to see or touch the soles of them. Write about her hands, so deep, you'll search just to make clones of them. I hold and massage because they'll give you life. When I first started writing, bleeding, milking vodka-soaked blood cells from fingertips, pictures, dripping, seeping into fleshy pages, envisioning her hands as the lines, holding together every colorful word, letter, and word, my blood slurred. She could feel me between her fingers, caressing my pain, able to point me in the direction of unconditional love, wiping away my fears. These tears wouldn't be criticized. They would add moisture to her palms, making it easier to calm and solve them. And this I know, if I could write her, she would understand me better. Understand that this right here isn't just a thing, hobby, fling, nor fly by night. This right here is my life. Used to be the only right I liked. As I matured, it helped me write my life. When my soul began trickling, forming streams of living dreams, I began to understand that life, purpose, and dreams wouldn't always coexist peacefully. So maybe she'll never understand this piece of me and how this written chaos exalts the peace in me. This ink-filled havoc pieces together this conundrum of a man. I know for sure she would understand if she were my pen. That's one.
That was lovely.
Thank you. What am I gonna do next? I don't, I'm sorry, I'm taking a long time.
We got you, brother. Take your time.
All right. A letter to my rose. Dear Erica Rose, it's Daddy. So read carefully. Life doesn't always start out as planned. Sometimes it begins with face masks, scalpels, clamps, the possibility of not making it lingering in your lungs, and pins so hot they cauterize wounds as soon as inflicted, writing words of wisdom and strength on the womb you were once dependent on to say farewell, do well, be well, live out loud with limitless love. Life is a compilation of perfectly composed music notes, and baby, you are its best tune. So sing. Sing with all your might. in the heavenly pitch you were made in, while humming the melody of your purpose. Life isn't meant. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
You left off where you said life isn't meant, and then it got quiet.
Okay. Let me find my place again. Thank you for letting me know that, because I had no clue if I had went out or not. Life isn't meant to be sung on the surface. It's to be belted from the trenches of your heart. And yes, you will get dirty, sometimes overwhelmingly filthy, make mistakes, and come in contact with more than one devil. When they throw their worst at you, don't buckle. Shout the praise and prayers written on your soul before Elohim bless me with you. Remember, don't swallow the meconium, or don't take no shit. You have greatness in the pit of your stomach. When you can't seem to get it up past your throat, channel it elsewhere, creating worlds of dreams from the tips of your fingers, writing your destiny in vivid colors of truth, having the gumption to spread peace, reaching until almost separating your shoulder to grab that mother of pearl and gold ring your ancestors left so you wouldn't forget how priceless your bloodline is. You were made from the rarest ore, mixed with the most precious stones, strong fiber of my being, all the elements it takes to make dreams come true. Pure, untainted, fist thrown high, painted in black leather glove, sweetest, brown sugar pride, chocolate eyes to pierce souls and affect lives. I'm writing you this to let you know they won't be ready when you arrive. Won't be able to understand why your deep melanin holds so much power. You won't take no for an answer. You will create instead of slave. So, baby, listen. They will mock and tease, try and make you believe you aren't good enough, try and force you into a box, tell you it's better to follow the beat of their drum instead of the many your coils make when they bounce. They will laugh when you sing as if E sharp is molded to your teeth. Dancing to success when they expect you to climb. They won't be ready for your strength, resilience, talent, but you dust yourself off. Stand strong, head held high, beautiful smile on your face, back straight, eyes filled with determined fire, pumping your fist like a solder, wielding your pen like Gwendolyn Brooks, and let them know with your actions, you are a queen. That's that piece.
That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great share, brother. We appreciate your energy and your work tonight. Sidekick, I see you coming in, brother, but it's late. We gotta close out. You guys gotta start catching us a little bit earlier and try to keep space.
Dude, absolutely. It was a joy to be able to hear, man. I appreciate y'all spit.
Yeah, you know how I do it. You know I love you, bro. You know I'm always here for you. But got somebody that's co-hosting this room, so I gotta shut it down. But I want to thank everybody that came in tonight, everybody that shared and gave of themselves. Always appreciate y'all coming in and helping to keep this space. Like we can't be here without you all, so I appreciate y'all coming in every week and giving of yourselves. So just unmute yourselves and give yourselves a hand of applause. Hug yourselves
Love
and embrace
you.
yourselves and know that everything that you gave was necessary tonight.
It's great to be here this evening. Thank you, everyone, for the incredible poetry.
Enjoyed you all.
Sidekick, I'm gonna be hollering at you too, bro. I need to talk to you behind the scenes, all right?
Dude, it is always a pleasure to get up with you, whether behind the scenes or in the front scenes, man. Thank y'all for spending the night. It was great to be able to catch the last bit of it.
That's what's up, bro. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Special thanks to Nemo as well. Nemo always makes sure that he sends me the Zoom just in case you don't send it, Wits, or
It's in
gift
the
it.
post. Y'all gotta it's old. The Zoom is always underneath the flyer. So sometimes you don't see the words or the numbers inside the
Yeah.
flyer. You scroll down, the Zoom link is always underneath the flyer. Just so
No,
you know.
but he's your backup though, because he's been very consistent about making sure I get the invite.
Nemo's brought plenty of people into the room, so I totally agree that he definitely is. He's a great addition to this family, and he definitely plays his part. So there's no love shortage there, definitely. But again, I gotta shut the room down, y'all. So I thank y'all for coming in.
Love you guys.
I love you all. Keep shining your light for the universe to see, and I hope to see you all again next week.
No. Smell bad to you too, huh? I know it is.
All right.
Good night, Wits. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Nemo.
Amazing
Love
show
you,
as
Mr. Rich.
always.
Love you guys.
Love you too, Mama Betty.
Great to
Thank
see
Nemo,
you.
thank you. Hello.
Absolutely. Good night.
Hi. Did you cut off Miss Betty? I'm saying hi to you.
Go ahead. You can hear.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Good. Hey, blessing, highly favored.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
say that. Blessings, Queen. Thank you. That's right. Kiss
Aw,
Mama. Kiss her
that's
again for me.
beautiful. I love it. I love it. All right.
All right.
Oh, I miss
I need you
Kendra.
all to X out though because I gotta save the room. I gotta
Oh, I missed.
so I can upload it. So please.
Okay, my bad.